The people have spoken. 3 of them, exactly 3 of them, and this is just for you. So, you wanted to have more of the Slay the Princess, and I am happy to deliver. I can love this game, so let's enjoy. So let's start with the new game, and we will go through 3 vessels today, and the next episode through 2
You're
vessels.
on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Yeah, but will it? Okay. And the options. What are you talking about? Is she dangerous because we locked her up? Is it really a good thing? Can someone else do it?
Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, but I don't.
Have you considered that maybe I am okay with the world ending, especially if this is the world where I have to kill someone random?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Okay, maybe she's evil because she's locked up.
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
There's no way I can trust the narrator voiced by Jonathan Sims. I mean, he made a really great job in this game, but he sounds so demanding and patronizing as a narrator.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her. Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you. Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey. Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
Okay, I will go to the cabin, but I will see what I will do once I talk with her.
And I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
And this is the subtle difference, but as a hero, he sounds so much more compassionate.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
Okay, let's do the first vessel by being a very obedient creature.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this. You go into this expecting to die, you're going to die.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle. She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down. As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
I don't think I had this result, and the difference in my choices were very delicate, very slight.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Ooh, the tower! Nice.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I like how reactive the game is. It's how the narrative games should be, because the way we are presenting ourselves to very nitty-gritty detail is reflected in how Princess is behaving. This is amazing. I love it. Yeah, I have
Terrible
the
sense of
déjà vu.
No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again.
She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself. It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I. Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die.
What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now?
It's pointless.
She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself? Or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
We don't know that.
If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same in the end.
Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
No, thank you. I won't be talking that much in this playthrough, probably. If you saw any other of my playthroughs, you probably noticed that I am very chatty. But in this one, I'm just absorbing the story.
Just be quick about it.
Okay, if she killed us last time, how can we be sure that she won't do it this time too? Yeah, pretty much similar. Yeah, why was she so strong? Who locked her in the basement? That's the question.
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
But I like overcomplicating things. Yeah, why they haven't slayed her?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are.
Oh, I didn't know we were special.
Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
Who cares if you think we're special? As far as I can tell, the only thing special about us is that we get to experience painfully dying all over again.
That's true.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Let's go to the cabin.
A warning. Before you go any further, she will lie She will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge?
Just a little bit, please.
I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
Ah,
You're being annoying.
True.
Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter.
Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small?
We don't feel small. We are small.
yeah, what about the mirror?
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway. And I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't need any reminders of what we are. It would only make things worse.
For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror, so no one needs to worry about confronting a grisly visage any time in the near future. Though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you. You probably look perfectly normal.
Probably. Yeah, the evidence so far doesn't suggest perfectly normal, it suggests feathery goblin.
Probably. Do you not know what we look like?
He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell us. Please don't. I'd rather the princess kill us again than see how dreadful we are. I care less about what we look like and more about whether we're being lied to. If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else is he hiding from us?
I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless?
Well, you wouldn't lie, but you don't know that the time rewinded or we jumped to the another dimension, as you said, so probably you also don't see how the reality reflects what we are. So the mirror, basically the mirror is meant to reflect our image and the surrounding area and how Princess is behaving, and our voices are reflecting who we are the same way as the mirror. The narrator cannot see neither of this. Okay, let's take the blade.
Take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
I'm not sure if we will manage to slay her if she's the tower.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
This is actually kind of nice.
It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago, you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
I still stand strongly on my previous sentiment that you can perfectly well sing Step on Me to the aha melody of Take on Me, and this would summarize perfectly the tower. I am not listening to you. I will try to resist.
As if on command, the blade slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor.
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
No.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you couldn't even scratch me. And yet here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
The last time we met? I suppose that lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
Do we want to tell her? Probably no.
Do you think holding shut your beak is enough to stop me from prying it open? Do you think your skull can save your thoughts from being seen? You're less broken than I thought. Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants. No objections here. I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade.
We are absolutely
As your eye falls
not.
on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
Oh. Okay, so the options, I wonder if we can access those options if we meet the tower the second time. So there's why, what are you going to try and make me do with it? I'm going to kill you. You are not kidding about that divine hand. Who's doing it? Is it her? Is it you? And no. If anyone knows if meeting tower for the second time would make it possible to select any of those options, just let me know, because I would love to see the result. But for now we have to pick the blade,
You
and we
reach
know
forward and grasp
won't.
the blade.
And well.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad.
Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway.
You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To defy me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
What? You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
No.
Oh, we'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her. No, you can't just slay yourself. You're perfectly healthy and capable, and all you have to do is ignore her and do what has to be done. The blade and the hand that wields it remain firmly locked in place until you change your mind and decide to do literally anything else.
Look at you quaking against my will. An ant defying a god. It's pointless to resist. In the end, everything submits to oblivion. But you're not the one resisting me, are you? There's something else in there. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's
Oh, wow.
something different now.
Is she talking about you?
Oh wow, she's the narrator.
That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about?
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
You bring the blade to your neck. You slice through soft flesh, severing veins and arteries, your blood flowing freely down your body. It's a painful lesson in obedience, but the pain won't last forever. No.
When I see you again, you'll free me from my chains and deliver me to the destiny that lies beyond this place.
We will. I promise.
I know you will.
Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path... Oh, let me guess, and at the end of the path is a cabin! Excuse me? Come on, man. We can see it right in front of us, and besides, we've been here like, 5 times already? I think this is 3. Who cares? The woods are always the worst part anyway. Nothing ever happens in them. I care. Every single time you've been here, it means an entire other reality has been damned to oblivion. One reality is already an incalculable loss. And there is a massive difference between 3 and 5. Feels like the numbers getting thrown around here are too big not to be abstract. Numbers like 5. Numbers like entire realities. At the end of the day, it's all just silly, isn't it? None of us can count to a whole reality, and he's asking us to think about the difference between 3 and 5. You're already starting to lose the thread. Just because you can't personally sum up the contents of an entire reality doesn't mean that the people inhabiting it don't contain moral value. If you have any sense of ethics left in there, if you have any moral compass, please, you have to stop her.
Don't you get it? Might makes right, and she didn't even have to touch us last time to prove her power.
So what? Just because she made us kill ourselves, we're supposed to submit to her authority without question?
I knew when to surrender to our better. You would have lost eventually anyway, and it would only have made her angry. It would only have made things worse for all of us.
Oh, for the love of... Can you all please just get on with it? You're not making this any easier for yourselves. Do we even have agency right now?
Nope.
We either do what she wants, or we do what he wants. Either way, we're listening to somebody. Please, nothing in life is a binary. Obviously, we find a third choice that nobody wants.
You all talk about choices and freedom, but there is no choice when it comes to the will of a god.
I'm going to cut you off right there. She is not a god, and the more times you fail, the harder it becomes for you to succeed. But the fact that you're still here means you still have a chance to pull this off. So, princess, dangerous, cabin, slay, now.
Okay, I want to know what am I.
As you finish your inane question,
Thank
the
you.
ground quakes beneath your feet. You feel an unyielding force pulling at you and your surroundings. The trees start to sway and then crumble, breaking apart as everything is drawn towards the cabin. Even the earth beneath you seems to shift, your feet unable to grip solid ground as you're dragged forward along with everything else.
The end of everything. The beginning of something new. The moment we open that door, she will be free.
Any, words of warning? You already know everything you need to know. As you step forward, the cabin explodes. Flung backwards, violently slamming into a tree as debris rains down around you. You watch in paralyzed awe and terror as the princess emerges, her body unfurling from some vast space as she stands upright to face you. The world bows to her. The ruined landscape shifts, trees and stone and the ground itself succumbing to her gravity, orbiting her like a great black hole.
Finally, the little bird has set me free. This is always how it was going to end. And this is always how it was going to begin.
There's a loud thunk from the tree behind you as something embeds in its shattered bark. Your pristine blade. It's now or never.
Last time I did try to slay her, so now I want to try something a little bit different.
Well, we could always run away, right? To where? I don't know. Anywhere.
I don't think so.
You're all ruining the moment of her ascension. Have you no respect for the divine?
I'm not fleeing. I'm embracing a new goddess.
Alright, spiting him it is. You don't know what you're doing. That's half the fun.
Fill the empty seat by my side. Join me for a new dawn.
The music and the third chapters are always mwah.
You fool. You can feel the pull of her gravity catch you, carrying you from the ground into the violent swirl of her orbit.
Come to me.
Her words are like a gentle tug, drawing you closer to the mountain of her body. You land softly on her shoulder. Her skin is warm and comforting. This really is the end. Is it the end? We're still here.
Everything is gone, us and her. This is her power. This is where we're meant to be.
He's really gone? Huh, that's unexpected. But he would have said something by now if he were still here. Right? Yeah. Never knew when to shut up, that one. It's part of why I liked him so much. I can't believe all it took to make him disappear was saying no once. What happens now?
This world is but an illusion, keeping us from my ascension. A play of shadows dancing on the wall.
Ooh. Are we getting the peek outside?
The flame may be snuffed, but the wall remains. This isn't just for my glory. You are part of this now.
See? This is nice. We're safe. She's helping us. She's helping everyone.
Oh no. Okay, I'm suffering in silence. I want to see what happens.
It will be over soon, little bird. Then your eyes will open, and all of this pain will seem but the fading memory of a distant dream.
Soon? Soon? Does that mean there's gonna be more? My only comfort is that he isn't here to see us suffer. He would love that, wouldn't he?
I don't think he would love that.
Yes. Hurt her. Do something, anything, to make it stop.
No, if suffering is what she demands of us, suffering is what we'll give. Why would I doubt our God?
It is so, so tempting to see what's on the other side of that great big nothing, but I think I'm gonna lose myself if this goes on for much longer. Why do we have to be the ones going through all this pain while she gets all the benefits?
Blasphemer. We have been given the gift of offering ourselves to a higher purpose, and you spit in its face.
Yeah, and it's again the imbalance in our relationship causes someone to hurt the other one. Let's try to not be vengeful. And I don't want to be alone, but I hope that she does have the plan and that she do see the reason. Quite a lot of
You've done so well, little bird. Behold, the fruit of your anguish.
Where are we? Does it even matter? Here, there, it's all the same.
You're all starting to sound like me.
Oh, we see that outside.
Oh. What is that? I think I want to be there.
It's where we're supposed to
Can we come back if we go there? I don't want to go there if it means we can't come back. Were we supposed to stop?
We were not.
I don't think this is over.
After everything I cast aside on my path to ascension, what remnant of the old could possibly be left to defy me?
Ooh. Aww.
We have to be able to do something to help her. This can't be how it ends. It can't. It can't.
I think this is the end. I can feel every part of me freezing over. You have been the only thing I've ever known to show me grace. I am sorry if I have not shown you the same.
You okay? Oh, she wanted us to reach the better world.
Fly, little bird.
No. No. I don't want to be somewhere she isn't. It would always be dark without her.
It's what she wants for us. But can we make it? Of course we can. We can do whatever we want. And I believe in her.
And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
I think we don't have a choice.
No. Don't do that. I don't want to look at us. He is. Does that mean the world ended?
What are we supposed to do now?
Figures the world would end and leave us with all this nothing. You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. I feel anxious. Does anyone else feel anxious?
Again, what the hell are we supposed to do?
Approach the
I'm
mirror.
begging you, don't do this. It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more.
I don't know what I am.
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. Yes, Nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one sits at the cusp of awakening, a new god waiting to be born. She will make for a terrifying and divine heart. Do not mourn her, for she has finally found her light. How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Okay, have you sent me to slay the princess?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free. You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. I know only that they are. You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends? I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt.
What happened now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
How much will I forget?
Everything, until we meet again.
Are you going to destroy the world?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
What's going to happen? Like, seriously?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Okay. How many pieces do you need?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
And what if I don't agree?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
Okay, I never actually tried to wait her out. Let's wait.
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
I am waiting forever.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you play? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage. You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Okay. It's... Oh! It actually switched off the game. I wonder if we have to start over. It never happened to me before. Or is it just the thing that it's saved and it will start again at the cabin? Let's start over. I just switched the game on. Let's give it a few seconds.
You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
Okay. This is interesting. I like it. Okay, let's forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Hero and Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Okay, I know everything I need to know, probably. Yeah, thank you for telling me what to
It's
do.
all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The blade is your implement. You'll need it.
Okay, let's take
You
it.
take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
It will.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Okay, this time I really will be the narrator, good bet.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this. You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh, this is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over? Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
No, it's not good. It's the same as the princess fates. She has been imprisoned and now I am the prison. Yeah, better
This
ending.
isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity. Your reward. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. Psst. Hey, we're not just going to stay here forever, right? I do, but you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare.
I will dare because the stagnation is nothing like the torture, my dear.
Thank you. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
Ooh, I don't think I saw it. Is it new?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. My tricks?
Yep, yours.
What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. That's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her last time. We'll just do it again. Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place. Those are two very different questions, but let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only... Oh, we listened to you plenty. We slew the princess just like you asked us to, and then you locked us away in an empty void for eternity. So we slew ourselves too. Well, if you killed yourself, then you weren't listening to me, because I would never want you to do that. Believe it or not, I care about you.
Like the worst kind of helicopter parent.
And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We slew the princess, the world outside the cabin disappeared, we died, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Aside from, different surroundings and additional voices in our head, probably.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how had you failed to slay the princess? What would have...
It doesn't matter, because we didn't fail to slay her. And if she's really back, which I doubt, it'll be just as easy to do it again. But after that nasty trick you pulled on us, maybe she's not the only one around here in need of slaying.
Maybe she is not.
Just stay focused, will you?
Absolutely not. I refuse any sort of focus in here.
Just be quick about it.
Do you have any new questions? Nope.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin. A warning. Before you go, she will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from...
She won't be a problem.
If the voice of Colt is here, she's probably still dead.
The interior of the cabin is cold,
Ooh.
a soft odor of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time. Like I've been saying, she's dead. We killed her already.
Let's approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Yeah, the narrator cannot see the changes.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. Let's not spend much longer worrying over it. Clearly it's not even important enough to be acknowledged.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. The room below is silent.
Nobody's here. Naturally.
As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure.
I guess we'll just have to go down and see.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain.
Okay, she's definitely dead.
It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor. Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous, skeletal grin.
Is she a Casper-friendly ghost? This is cheerful.
And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here?
Ghost! Oh. Wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I had some issues with how our last meeting went.
Oh, this is beautiful acting.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you. Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again, if we wanted to.
Let's not be hasty.
I see you brought that annoying knife again. So, are you waiting for a chance to use it? Or are you here for something else?
The effect on her voice is also really adding up to the experience. Yep, see, narrator, we've been here.
Yes, obviously things are strange right now. I think it's safe to say that you've seen something you shouldn't have seen. Whatever worlds you've hopped between, whatever versions of me you've met, none of that matters now. There's no changing what's already happened, but you have a job to finish. Finish how? We already did what you told us, and now she's a ghost. You haven't tried slaying her yet this time, though. And then what? And then you'll have saved the world. I think he's asking about what happens after we save the world. If that's even still an option. What do you mean, after?
You know what I mean.
You already know what we mean, don't you? So why don't you go ahead and tell us? Are you going to try and lock us away in a timeless void again? Because I didn't much care for that. I'm not going to lock you anywhere. What an interesting choice of emphasis.
Yep. Why you came back?
How should I know? Why does anyone come back? Maybe I have unfinished business with you. Or maybe you have unfinished business with me. All I know is there's a hole in my chest. And not the big obvious one that you put there. There's something older and deeper. A nagging reminder that I'm not where I'm supposed to be.
Where you should go.
Home.
Aww.
And just where is home, I wonder?
I don't know where home is. I just know it isn't here. But I can feel it calling to me from someplace far away. Wherever I'm supposed to be, it's out there.
How specific. And how convenient for her. You see what she's doing, right? She's suggesting that the only way you can rid yourself of her would be to let her out, which, in case you haven't been listening, will spell the end of the entire world.
Okay. What can we do to get you home?
No, those bones are just a body. They aren't me. Bury them. Smash them. It won't do a thing. But you can help me. This place won't let me leave. At least, not alone.
It does make sense compared to other chapters that she cannot live on her own.
I've tried. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls. But I never found a way out. I always wound up right back here.
Maybe we should just leave. If she can't get out on her own, then why do we have to do anything? We could probably walk out right now and everything will be fine.
Nope, stagnation is not fine.
Hasn't got out and can't get out are two very different things. It'd be dull anyway. It's more interesting if we make a choice.
But you can come and go as you please, can't you? So, let me hit your line.
After all, you own me.
Absolutely not. Is she asking if she can Possess us? She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in, there is very little anyone could do to stop her. Would she be able to see us if we went along with it? Now, isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face to face with him. I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly.
That's an option.
I won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
Okay, would I still be in control?
Sure, why not?
That doesn't sound very reassuring. It could be the best way to trap her for good. Doesn't seem like it would be very easy to end the world from inside someone else's body.
You don't want to get possessed.
That is a very dangerous train of thought.
It is actually.
If I'm able to, but for all we know, that's not how it works. Maybe I'll wind up stuck with you for a long time.
Do you hear the way she said that? She knows more than she's letting on. Don't let her fool you into doing something you'll regret.
Then I won't hitch a ride. I'm sure you'd like to know. It's a shame I won't tell you. But it'll be easier for both of us if you just let me in. And doesn't it sound nice?
Maybe for her, but it's crowded enough in here as is.
That's true. And if she has her own voices,
You won't have to feel guilty anymore. If you even do feel guilt.
I just don't know which one would be the most interesting option. They all sound awesome. I don't need the time, and I'm not leaving. Okay, are you going to end the world? Trick
And
question.
what? You just believed that? You killed me without giving it any thought? That's cold.
That's rich coming from her. Every time she touches us, it's like we freeze over. She's right, though, but that's neither here nor there. What's done is done. What we do from this point forward is all that matters. Let's try not to let emotion get the better of it.
Okay, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Maybe I'll just fade away. Finally able to rest once I'm free from my unfinished business. Maybe I'll find someone to haunt. Maybe I'll haunt you.
Haunt the narrator.
It's a tough question, asking someone what she's going to do with her life.
The princess leans in close and pauses, the frigid air between you stale and unmoving.
Especially when that someone is dead.
She pulls back with a playful giggle.
I don't think most living people could answer that either. Does anyone actually know who they are or what they want? The only thing I've ever wanted was to leave this place. It's still the only thing I want.
It does. We're not asking you. We've heard your whole speech already.
Few
I
times.
really don't know. I'm not lying to you. I promise. The world doesn't matter. All I remember is that I'm supposed to be there, not here. I'm just supposed to be a part of it. It's home, I think. But what does it mean for anything to end? I ended, but I also didn't. I'm not so sure endings are real.
Okay, I think it's too late to apologize, to be fair. Do you want me to die? Let's not. No. Okay, why am I
You
different?
don't look dead, killer.
I don't.
Princess grabs your wrist, a sudden shock of cold flowing all the way up your arm, her eyes still fixed on yours as you try to squirm out of her grip.
And you don't feel dead either.
She lets go and pulls away. Your fingertips tingle painfully as the chill subsides.
I'm less interested in why you are or how you are, and a lot more interested in what you are. But we've already been over that. So why don't you stop stalling and let me in? It's so cold out here.
Okay, so I am going to let you. Yeah.
The princess swims through the air in front of you, pausing for a brief moment as her dark-rimmed eyes stare deeply into
What
yours.
can go wrong?
There's a hunger in her gaze.
You're really trying to make it up to me, aren't you? Thanks for being a pal, killer. I mean it.
What are you doing? Don't just let her in. How many times do I have to tell you?
See you soon.
She rushes forward and then she's gone. A sharp chill spreads across your body. It starts in your chest, a freezing numbness flowing out from your heart, all the way down your limbs, your mind growing cloudy and confused as it settles over your very soul.
I'm not sure I like this. Can we get a do-over?
Nope. No do-overs.
I'm afraid it's too late to stop now. The numbness gives way to a stabbing pain, your muscles twitching and convulsing violently, each involuntary movement causing more waves of agony to ripple across your body. You collapse to the floor, and everything goes dark.
Come on, you. You've got to get up. I know everything feels heavy right now, but we still have to get out of here.
Your eyes flick back open as you get your
Oh,
bearings,
we are
your
looking
vision
from
swimming
different
as...
perspective.
So
Nice.
this is what it's like to be you, huh? Disembodied voice narrating your every move?
So, it doesn't work like that for you?
Clearly it doesn't, or she wouldn't have commented on it.
All these shards of broken glass on the floor. Are they also supposed to be you?
Hey, I'm not a shard of broken glass. I'm
It's okay. You can finish your thought.
a voice. I'm me is what I am.
Who cares what we are? We exist. That's all that matters.
You don't have to fight. We'll all be out of here soon.
No, it matters. What we are matters. If I'm a shard of broken glass, then that raises some questions about certain other voices in here too.
I'm clearly the same thing you are.
They're not listening to me. Do they not listen to you either?
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him.
You don't need to know what I am. You just need to know that I'm different from you. More important.
Sure.
So, you're the one who pulled the strings and made me dead. I can tell you don't belong here. You're barely even there. Like the shape of something left behind. You're more of a memory than a person.
That's awesome. We have the second time in this playthrough when the princess is commenting directly on the narrator.
That's rude.
Kind of like me, actually.
I'm just going to ignore her. You push yourself off the ground. The princess is nowhere to be seen. Obviously, she's nowhere to be seen.
Because I'm in here with all of you. Everybody knows that.
I'm setting the stage. The room is empty because you made a spiteful, idiotic, and all-round foolish decision.
You don't have to let him get to you. You're better than that. You're starting to make things right.
This is infuriating. Just Whatever you do, you can't leave this place. It's not too late to fix this. Probably.
It's okay. We're almost out of here. Just take it one step at a time, and everything will be fine.
Everything won't be fine if you listen to her. One way or another, this is all going to end. Wouldn't it be nice if he ends with it?
Wouldn't that be nice? There's only one way to find out.
I think it's too much. We are trying to slay.
Isn't that an interesting idea?
Thank you for the voice of encouragement. Voice of the Cold is really interesting in this one. I previously met him, I think, only in the Grey. And here he's shining through.
I hadn't even considered it as an option. Slaying her would slay you. Are you sure you're willing to do that? Of course we're sure. The decision has already been made. All right then. Better this than ferrying her out of here.
After all that, you're really just going to stab me again?
Hear that? She's scared. No point wasting more time. Do it. You lift the blade, then plunge it deep into your guts. Pain spreads quickly through your torso as you attempt to turn its edge up towards your heart. The princess, her spirit bound to your prison of flesh as she had once been bound to the basement's prison of stone, cries out in agony as you slice through organ and muscle.
I don't want to die in you. I thought you finally understood me, but instead you just wanted to hurt me again.
Your skin roils and bucks as she violently pushes against it from the inside. Bits of her seep through, white and glowing with ethereal light, but still the walls of your prison hold.
If only I could drag you with me and make you understand. But that's not the way things get to go for me, is it?
It would certainly be interesting. Though being dead does sound dark. And you are about to be dead. Again.
Get away from me, you cold little freak.
Okay.
We were so close to leaving, and now look at you. Look at me. Is this what you wanted?
Oh, we changed the perspectives.
Oh, you're here too. Maybe trying to slay me was for the best, if it means you could leave those other voices behind. The two mean ones, at least. I feel kind of bad for the nice one, but we probably shouldn't think about them too much right now. They're a mess, and I don't think we can fix them. No point in worrying over messes that can't be fixed. Wait, if we need to leave together to get out, this could still count. We have to try before your body stops being alive. It's okay, I'm sure you had your reasons, but I think we have to leave now. Come on, let's...
Oh, that's so sad. This is her perspective.
Are you still there? Am I alone again? Then at least I won't be lonely. It's nice to hear your voice. I mean, think your voice?
Are you mad at me?
I don't know why you did what you did, but it's hard to be mad when you're just as stuck as I am. I'm just trying to make the best of things. You could always make the best of things too, if you want. We both have a chance to start over. Besides, there's something about you being in here with me that feels... right. I never wanted to be your enemy. I don't know what to say. I just feel fine right now. I think things happen for a reason. And if you trying to kill both of us is what it takes for you to finally see what I see, then I'm okay with that.
Okay, how are we supposed to get out of here?
I wish I knew, but I think we're probably stuck here until something happens.
What happened to the others?
I don't know. I hope they're okay.
Hmm.
Some of them, at least. I didn't like the one that kept bossing you around. And that quiet one kinda gave me the creeps. I liked that last one, though. He was nice. I hope he's okay.
Oh,
Maybe? It's like, sometimes we are and sometimes we aren't. Like, we're something in between ghost and... not ghost.
seems like we broke the reality a little bit again. Okay, are we supposed only to wait?
Well, that's what I've always done.
Can we do anything
I already
else?
told you I don't have any ideas. I did tell you that, right?
No.
Sorry if I didn't. I think you died, or the body on the floor died. Sorry, this is what happened to me last time.
I got the title card. Where is my title card?
I've never gotten a title card. What did yours say? Well, the first one is sweet. Well, maybe you're just misguided. And the story's not over yet. We might still find a happy ending. But I think it's time we start a new chapter. How about... Chapter 3, The Princess and the Dragon.
The dragon? Wait, I thought I'm some sort of bird chimera at best, but more like a, feathery goblin.
Well, they're similar, right? I guess you made it back here.
Oh no.
We're still all wrong. It's like you don't really know what we're supposed to be. I know that sound. That's the knife. I guess it's hard to do anything without it.
Should I say anything?
I guess not. Thumb. Thumb. Thumb.
It's so terrifying from her perspective. Huh. Maybe we are kind of draconic creature. Definitely not the goblin.
You're you? You've always looked like this. You're scary sometimes, but looks only matter so much.
Oh!
I guess we'll just have to talk to them. So, here we are again. I'm back in chains and you have your knife. So, what are we going to do? I guess we could just... stare at each other?
Oh, there's no me, so there are only the voices inside. Oh no.
Is that why you're always quietly staring?
Oh no.
I can't hear what's going on in there anymore now that I'm back in my own body. Do you want to share your thoughts? It'd only be polite, really.
Oh, you would like to hear what we're thinking, wouldn't you?
Huh.
But I think we hold the power right now.
Is that voice of a cult in action? That's so creepy from her perspective. I wonder if we are picking up my cat. Sorry for the second. Higher management got woken up. Come on. She was crying on the floor because she loves the attention.
How dull. We've already had our discussions in private. I'd rather not keep listening to the rest of you run in circles, repeating the same arguments again and again and again. It was so much more interesting when we had someone to mediate.
That's definitely voice of the cold.
I'm sorry, did you just share privileged information with the enemy?
And that's narrator.
Well, it isn't privileged anymore, now is it? Do we really need all this secrecy?
Is it contrarian?
No, we don't.
Cold.
So
amazing.
Yes, we do. Sidebar, everyone. Now. Chop chop.
Excuse me. They're not listening to me. Exactly. And you know what? I'm not gonna let them push us around like this. Hello? I'm trying to say something. Hey, I said I'm talking now. Will you listen to me?
So you are, and very loudly. Do you have something to say?
Huh.
Oops. I mean, yeah. I already know about all that privileged information because he's in here with me.
Oh, how very interesting. Yeah, that changes things, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Oh, it changes things, all right. We get to take out 2 birds with 1 stone.
Oh, rude.
Wait, what?
From what I remember, it's pretty easy to kill you the first time around. And this time you're back to being very... what's the word? Fleshy? Yes, exactly. That's precisely the word I was looking for. You're fleshy now. No more of that incorporeality. Trust me, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think it would be easy.
And are you doing this?
Oh, I most definitely am.
Oh no.
Before anything happens, I just wanted to let you all know that we are not all on board with this. Now, we voted. It was not a majority decision, but we did have a plurality. He shouldn't count. Says who? Says me. He's not one of us.
He's not.
He's been here since the beginning. The old chum really deserves to say. Besides, you'll all thank us when this is finally over and we are officially on top. But enough chatter.
I have difficulties with identifying who's the brown text. I think it's a contrarian and we don't hear actually the narrator.
Oh,
So you finally decided to do something, have you?
Oh no.
Princess collapses against the wall.
Huh?
See? That was easy.
It's opportunities, okay.
It was too easy. I felt bad.
Don't feel bad. Life is all about taking the easy wins. You don't think the people at the top got there because they worked for it, do you?
I mean, of course they did. Hard work is important. Yeah, hard work often goes unappreciated. Why bother?
Yeah, screw hard work. I guarantee you that anyone who's anyone has done nothing but take shortcuts.
Am I supposed to find that impressive?
Of course you are. I got us here, didn't I? Yes, everyone's very impressed with your accomplishments. But in case you hadn't noticed, she isn't dead yet. So how about you finish this before you start celebrating yourself?
What are you waiting for? You won, didn't you? Not that it's hard executing a helpless captive.
Okay, we saw what we saw. We cannot just kill her right now.
Oh, you're different. You're back, just as I intended. I was never cut out for leadership, really.
You're right. It's quiet again. Are you still going to kill me?
Ooh, should we? It would be so easy. Absolutely. Nothing of substance has changed. She remains a threat to the entire world.
I am absolutely not killing her.
And the only thing left to do is cut me out of here. You should give the knife to me, though. What if you using it kicks you out of your body again?
Okay, listen. I know you're in charge again, but this is obviously a trick. We can't trust her. We literally just stabbed her.
Someone's gonna have to take a leap of faith eventually.
I mean, after all she went through, I don't blame her. I'm going to give her the blade.
You hand the blade to the princess, who gingerly cuts herself free from her bindings. You maniac.
And then what happens?
Then, as her chains clatter to the floor, she turns her back on you and hurls the blade through the basement window, never to be seen
Yay!
again. No. You need the blade to deal with her.
I'm so glad that's behind us. Come on, let's get out of here.
She reaches forward and takes your hand in hers before excitedly pulling you towards the basement stairs.
The suffering of the narrator every time we are having good time with the princess. Mwah.
Yeah? And what does it feel like? Is it nice?
Why do you want to know? You can tell a lot of things about someone from their handshake. I want to know more about the person we decided unanimously to throw our lot in with. Ugh, whatever. It's delicate and tender.
Ah, so even through everything, she hasn't forgotten what it's like to have a heart.
That'll do.
Aww.
The two of you rush up the basement stairs together. Ugh.
Welcome back, by the way. Yes, we all missed you so very much.
I missed you the most. You weren't even here until he was gone. Whatever, it doesn't matter. If you step through that door, you're damning every single person alive. You do realize that, yes?
Who cares?
One last door, and then we're free. I'm down a hand, so you'll have to be the one to open it.
Twist the doorknob in your hand and step forward into the world you've damned. You and the princess fall to the ground, exhausted. I hope this all comes back to bite you, do you hear? I
didn't think I'd ever get to be happy. But I think I am. I just didn't realize that being happy would feel so cold.
She's gone. Where did she go? And there's that mirror. This doesn't feel right. If they think it's bad, I'm with them. Ignore the cowards. You have to look.
That's new.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are
How have you changed?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same. I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between. Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
Okay, I want to learn something about this vessel.
This one is perspectives bleeding into one. You know her better than you know yourself. She will make for an empathetic heart. Do not mourn her, for you would not mourn yourself.
You are kinder than anyone else.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me. Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Okay. I'm ready to go back.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Let me just switch the light on. Back, I had to change the setup a little bit.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, I think we talk through all of those options. More or less. Do I get the reward?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
You little liar.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
We're not going to go through with this, right?
She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade. The door. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out.
Yeah, we
Don't
should.
you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
That's true too.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. Unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
It is awkward. It's super awkward.
I know. I just said that.
Oh, come
Now
on.
why are you here to kill me?
Just small talking with you. You don't know.
That laugh. I think I'm in love. Stop it.
I have no idea. To be honest, I don't even know why I'm down here, or how I got here. I was kind of hoping you might be able to shed some light on the whole situation. Too long.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Said the most trustworthy narrator ever.
Do you? So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Ma'am?
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
I haven't heard any straight answer from you too, so...
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting.
It might be
Right.
better for her.
She is.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Okay, I am getting out. off here and you are going with me.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day.
It would
They
make
wouldn't
sense
have just
to
left
have
the
the
key
key
to her chains
upstairs.
somewhere in the cabin.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Yeah, let's save her.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
I love this betrayal of narrator.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Oh, that's interesting, because usually majority of options are highlighted, so I guess that the ones that are not highlighted would lead us to the same outcome. I'm warning her.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Oh wow! Really? Because first time when I played Slay the Princess, I was able to select any of the options, and right now I can only resist. That's interesting.
The blade. Move the blade.
Nope.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you?
Yes, I
I
am.
can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
Thank you.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin, you're here to slay her. It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secret, and as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess. The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. He definitely did not. Does a mirror not count as furniture of note to you? Because it should. There isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. I think you know what we have to do. Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? That you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done? You take a good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
You're always saying that.
Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting
It's
development.
us.
Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Yeah, I already did accidentally lock myself for the eternity by using this shackle. And also in another playthrough I managed to go to the third chapter, the cage, so let's try to do something different. I am not leaving her. I will sit with her.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
I will sit a little bit closer.
Do you think this is a game?
Ooh.
Do you think these chains take away my say in things?
As you move towards the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists. In an instant they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly.
Those are some MMA moves.
The metal chains constrict around your windpipe as the princess heaves with a muscled intensity.
Drop the knife or you die.
What is she doing? We weren't trying to attack her. I can see where she might have gotten the wrong idea. She doesn't have much agency here. Would we have trusted her if the roles were reversed?
We probably wouldn't.
I don't know. How about we think about the nuances of interpersonal relationships when we're not being strangled? How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you. You steel your will and refuse to give in to the princess's demands, ignoring the stars dancing in your eyes and the screaming of your starved lungs. You strike. You fumble your first few attempts, only making surface-level scratches and gouges as your arm flails forward, barely able to obey you. But a single focused blow was all it took. Your blade pierces up through her ribs, slicing through flesh, striking her heart. The chains loosen. The darkness creeping in at the edges of your vision subsides.
None of this was ever very fair, was it?
It was
But
not.
I did kill you last time. I should have expected you might want some petty revenge. Unfortunately for you, that means you've dug your own grave. You can forget about me ever helping you again, even if it damns us both.
Oh, are we getting a new chapter?
And just like that, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward. I don't like this. It was too easy. It was not too easy. We almost died. That's right. This was an incredibly difficult task, and you performed it admirably. Let's just get out of here. I don't like looking at her body. Plus, he said there'd be a reward. I'd appreciate a reward right about now. You have the attention span of a fly. How are we supposed to unravel the mysteries of this place if you're so easily distracted by empty promises? It's better to have a short attention span in a situation like this. There's no use dwelling on the past, especially when it's already set in stone, and especially when your promised reward is not, in fact, empty and is worth all the adversity you've been through to get here. Fine, but if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it. With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here. The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty. The door. Check the door. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows. But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward? This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it.
Nope.
Okay. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Like hell it is. What's done is done. And there's no going back now. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win.
I am not happy. I'm picking this option.
We still have a blade. Let's use it on ourselves and start over. He's suggesting you kill yourself. You shouldn't kill yourself when you have an eternity of bliss right in front of you. You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose? Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want?
I don't have to answer that.
That's all we needed to hear. You raise the blade, then drive it into your heart. You collapse to the floor, everything goes dark, and you die. You're a genocidal maniac, you know that, right? Yeah, we'll see about that.
Oh, we are going to the grave. I previously had the grave from
You're on a
Damsel.
path in the woods. See, that wasn't so bad. And now we've got another chance to get to the bottom of things. Bit by bit, we're starting to unravel this place.
It's different than the grave from the Damsel. It wasn't raining in the previous one.
There are so many more threads to pull once you stop feeling. That's a little dark, buddy. You feeling okay? I'm feeling nothing. And I like that just fine. So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2? It's our 3rd. What gave it away? Your open discussions. You came around on that awful fast. Have you just been pretending to forget every time? I'm afraid not. Whatever other versions of me you've met in those other lifetimes were just that. Other versions of me. I just wish I'd been the first. So you knew how all this worked. Why didn't you ever tell us? We could have used it to our advantage. That's because there is no using it to your advantage. The more information you have, the harder it will be for you to succeed.
Yeah, that sounds like an unfair setup, to be fair.
It's not like it was that difficult to slay her last time. She may have put up a fight, but her flesh is still softer than our blade. And now she's dead, and I doubt she'll be able to do much of anything from the grave. You already slew her, and you survived? Yes. Then why, pray tell, are you here? Oh, I know that one. We killed ourselves. Why? Because you thought trying to stuff us away in a corner for eternity was a suitable reward. Was it not? What better reward is there than eternal bliss? You should have been happy. We were bored. There were still answers that we needed to find. It was actually working. And you killed yourself. I can't believe it. You ruined everything. How does us dying ruin everything? What aren't you telling us? The world doesn't stay saved if you die. And if the world isn't saved, then that means she isn't dead.
Yeah, it is raining.
Yes, things are different, aren't they? If this isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is already spreading and you're running out of time. Her influence? What's that supposed to mean? It means exactly what I said. Don't overthink it, or you run the risk of making your task so much more difficult than it has to be. And what is that supposed to mean? Forget I said anything. I've probably already made things worse, and I need to stop talking about this now before I definitely make things worse. Come on, tell us your secrets. Haven't we been through enough? Don't we deserve to know?
We kinda do.
No.
Come on.
Is there a reason it would be raining? If there is, it doesn't matter. If a bit of rain is the best her influence can conjure, then we have nothing to worry about. A drenched corpse is still a corpse.
Yeah, all answers are in the cabin. Let's go.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. You've already managed to slay her once, just don't muck it up this time, all right? What we do is entirely up to us. And we have all those mysteries to unravel. Isn't that right? You aren't here to solve a mystery. You're here to save the world. That's what you say. But how can we be sure? We can't be sure of anything except what's right in front of us. Okay, but we should care about the fate of the world. Why? Because we should. I don't know. It's important. Is it? Yes. I think. For all we know, the world you're talking about isn't even real.
Yup. I mean, The narrator is not the most reliable narrator, let's face it.
Of course it's real. Where do you think you are? Somewhere else? Maybe we are. This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await. As soon as you enter the cabin, you're struck by an overwhelming scent of decay, of mold and death and stagnant water. The once stately wooden building is bloated, its beams dripping with a black ooze of putrefaction, all but the exterior stone walls warped beyond recognition. It must have been beautiful once, but in its ruin, it is beyond repulsive. But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the rotting wood of the wall. Is that her?
Yeah, that's definitely different. In the grave from the damsel, everything was super dry and she was like white figure.
It's like she isn't even there. See? We killed her. You're right. Maybe she doesn't reset like us. She certainly doesn't look the same as she did last time. Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door, it's just that damn mirror again. Yes, the mirror that he can't see. The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this out before dying? There is no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade. Huh. That's strange. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? Maybe it's gone because we've already killed her with it. But we had it with us when we died. And besides, everything else has reset. Why wouldn't the blade have reset too? Maybe it's because we've already explored that avenue. We've seen what happens when we slay her. Maybe this place has decided we don't need to try that again. I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement? You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open the door. It's so hazy. We should try and clean it off. You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and yeah, we can see it now. So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things. No way left to go but down. The door to the basement groans open. The air is foul and wet, so thick that you can almost feel it settle onto your skin in layers of grime. The stairs are coated with slimy algae, the wood rotted through in places, reeking of fetid vegetation. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadows, legs submerged up to her shins in dark waters. There she is again. Barely. She's just an old memory. Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner.
Okay, have they changed the grey and the Pristine Cut, or there are different greys for different princesses and roots?
You receive no response. Do you think she's upset with us? She doesn't seem fully there. I'm not sure she's even capable of being upset. You aren't helping. Are you scared of a little ghost? What's she going to do? Look at us until we feel bad? She can look all she wants. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A bloated body floating face down in slowly rising waters. Her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain.
Yeah, if the water is rising, we should be concerned.
This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom. See? She's dead. She's not just dead. It looks like she's been rotting. So killing her does stick. Mostly. But if she's dead, then what are we supposed to do? She isn't dead. You clearly just believe she is. Her corpse is floating right in front of us. You can stop it with the mind games. If she's dead, then do we even have to do anything? How can she be a threat to the world like this? Your thoughts are cut short by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock. You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead.
Oh, it's so much creepier than the previous version of the Grey I saw. Creepier and kinda gross.
She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before?
Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even.
Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying or destroying, if we want to be a little more death neutral, seems off the table.
Yeah, this is tricky. But let's talk to her. See what kind of information she has that we don't.
But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
Bold of you to come back here after what you did.
But she doesn't answer your question. All she does is watch you in shadowed silence. Do you hear that trickling sound? The water's rising, isn't it? It is, and it's rising fast. Oh, that's interesting. We've never drowned before.
Bro.
I wonder how it'll feel.
Bad, I bet. I don't think dying ever feels good. Yes, how astute. Dying is bad and you should avoid it. How about you stop trying to talk to her and do something instead?
She's not going to let us out. And yeah, it kind of makes sense that she doesn't like us. Let's rush for the door.
The princess eyes you with a disaffected gaze as you rush up the stairs, but you don't make it past the first few steps. The door bursts open, a powerful wave of water crashing down towards you. You're swept up in the flood. Your head slams into the basement wall. You come to a moment later, suspended in darkness, disorientated, only aware of the surface of the water and the emptiness above. And of course, the princess, hovering above you, watching in silence as you struggle to stay afloat in the icy depths. There's no way out. It's so dark and cold. I think our limbs are slowing down. How much longer can we do this?
Just keep breathing. We'll figure this out.
Or we won't. It doesn't matter either way. But you don't have time to figure anything out. Something cold and clammy wraps around your ankle. You're dragged under, only able to take one last hopeful gulp of air before your head is plunged into the freezing depths. As you sink below the surface, you see it. Or rather, you see her. The body you found floating when you first arrived, its hand is locked around your ankle, the heavy chains pulling you both down into the unfeeling, suffocating nothingness.
I get it. We shouldn't have killed her. Just get it away from us, please.
The past is the past. There's no changing it. There's nothing to fix.
It makes sense that there might be different types of grace for different princesses.
And there's not a lot we can do about the present either. Not unless we think like we should have been doing all along.
But there is no thinking as you drown. You desperately try to pull yourself back to the surface again, and again, and again. Your icy limbs flailing desperately against the grip of her rotting corpse. And all the while her ghastly figure stares down at you, expressionless, as unfeeling as the weight around your ankle.
Your lungs filled with water, the same your mind filled with blood. In the end, we're not so different.
For the damsel grade, the wrath was directed toward the place and the situation that made us hurt each other. In this one, the wrath is actually directed toward me to that extent. So it is different. It makes sense. It definitely does.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why? This doesn't feel right. It feels different.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
Ignore the cowards. You have to look.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same. And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it. This one is guarded sorrow. She saw herself as alone, but in the end had the courage to share with another. She will make for a deep heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally been heard. As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul. It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me? It does seem small from here, and the more we journey, the smaller each of those steps will be, but that doesn't make any of them less special. I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
You're
Okay.
on a path in the woods.
I think it's a good time to take a break. We will take a break for a moment, and I will be back soon with the second part, in which I will go through 2 other vessels and the ending. But for now, that's everything. Thank you for watching. If you have any ideas, which options should I try to get the interesting results and unlock new paths, just let me know in the comments. I've played this game through, I think, 2 times, and I still have like 60% of the achievements to unlock, so I am expecting that there's a lot of content that I haven't seen. And for now, that's all. Have a good one, and bye!